Ladies and gentlemen, Led Zeppelin! Hi, welcome back to the AV Room. Got some breaking news in the world of Led Zeppelin. You heard that right. They may not be around anymore. The drummer may be passed, but Led Zeppelin is still trying to gain a new audience. Much like the Beatles are doing with their anthology series, Led Zeppelin knows how important it is to keep releasing new product in order to get new ears and eyes so their legacy remains intact and profitable. The US government has provisionally rejected Led Zeppelin's attempt to secure a new trademark for the band's mysterious Led Zeppelin Experience project, meaning the band may be forced to disclose more information about what this project actually is. Now, Led Zeppelin has filed last-minute paperwork aimed at keeping control of their trademark, the Led Zeppelin Experience, the name of the band's mysterious project, which could be an exhibition, a hologram, yep, you heard that right, or even an archive of live recordings. Now, the hologram is what interests most people. The Led Zeppelin Experience is something that's been tagged on to Jason Bonham's touring Led Zeppelin Experience, where he covers albums in their entirety in the Led Zeppelin catalog because his father was part of the famous band. Now, Jimmy Page has fought recently to sort of gain control back of that term, Led Zeppelin Experience. And we can only assume that the attorneys of Robert Plant and Jimmy Page and John Paul Jones are all involved in this. I don't believe Jason Bonham has much say, although he probably has some say, much like Julian has very little to say as far as the Beatles go. Now, what is the Led Zeppelin Experience? Nobody really knows. But on July 14th, lawyers represented by Jimmy Page-owned business Super Hype Tapes filed a new trademark application in the US, seeking to retain ownership of the brand name, the Led Zeppelin Experience. The trademark application covers entertainment services such as live performances, road shows, live stage events, theatrical performances, live music concerts, and audience participation in such events. It also covers clothing sold using the brand name. Now, on December 9th, the US government rejected Led Zeppelin's trademark application. It claimed that the Led Zeppelin Experience is too similar to the band's existing trademark for its name. Now, the Led Zeppelin Experience is confusingly similar to the registered mark Led Zeppelin, the US government wrote. Because the marks look and sound similar, it creates the same commercial impression. The marks are considered similar for likelihood of confusion purposes, states the US government. Now, Led Zeppelin has 3 months to respond to the US government if it wishes to revise its trademark application for the Led Zeppelin Experience. The band's lawyers may share more information about the project in order to explain why they should be able to use the word experience in a separate trademark to the band's name. Now, beginning in 2017, Led Zeppelin's 3 surviving members and the estate of John Bonham, the passed away drummer, were jointly involved in the planning of the Led Zeppelin Experience, which seems to have been a planned exhibition with the potential hologram component and potentially live recordings involved too. Now, the hologram component is what seems to interest most of us. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Well, it's definitely a weird thing. If any of you have ever seen the holograms in the past, whether they be Tupac, Roy Orbison, or Ronnie James Dio, many have mixed feelings on whether this should happen at all. Now, money is the end project's game, and money is what this is all about. We all need to keep earning in order to survive, and keep the lifestyle that they're accustomed to. And that definitely pertains to the multimillionaires that are Led Zeppelin. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The band filed a U.S. trademark application for the Led Zeppelin Experience on November 2nd, 2017. Weeks later, in December of 2017, Jason Bonham, the surviving son of John Bonham, the drummer from Led Zeppelin, had to change the name of his band from the Jason Bonham Led Zeppelin Experience to Jason Bonham's Led Zeppelin Evening. Bonham spoke to Billboard in 2018 explaining, "I got a letter from their attorney, who happens to be my attorney as well. As I read the first lines, I felt very upset," Bonham said. "It was my wife who saved me from going into a rage." Boy, I totally understand that. "I was about to group dial Jimmy, John Paul, and Robert and go, 'What the hell?' But she said, 'Go ahead and read the rest.' And I saw it wasn't personal. They simply wanted to free up the terminology." Now, the members of Led Zeppelin and Pat Bonham set up a UK business named Company 2018 in June of 2018, which carries out activities of exhibition and fair organizers according to house filings. Each surviving band member and Bonham own 25% of the business. Now, speaking in an interview in 2021 with superstar radio DJ Eddie Trunk, many of you have your own feelings as far as Eddie Trunk, but I like Eddie Trunk and I like what he does. Bonham said that there was something that they were working on, which from the looks of it and from what the news, I was possibly something similar to what Pink Floyd had done with the Pink Floyd Experience. They wanted that exact terminology. Now, speaking to Uncut Magazine in an interview in May of 2022, Page confirmed that Led Zeppelin was planning their own exhibition. "It was something like that, I guess," he said. He said there was something at one point for its own exhibition, but the band members and the people around the band, the handlers, if you will, couldn't agree. He also confirmed that Led Zeppelin had been approached about a potential hologram of the band. Led Zeppelin was asked if they were interested in doing that sort of thing. He said this on stage at the Hay Festival in Wales in June of 2022. However, he said that the band members couldn't agree, and so it didn't get moving, but they had not ruled it out. So the possibility of a touring Led Zeppelin experience with a stage show utilizing holograms could be in the works. We know Kiss is actively pursuing this as well with their Avatar show following the success of the ABBA show. Now, will they build their own venue like ABBA did? Will it be a touring show like the Ronnie James Dio show? Who knows at this point? But hopefully we will get news on this. As soon as we do, I will let you know. That's your Led Zeppelin update for today. Thank you for visiting the AV Room. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time here in the AV Room. By the way, did you notice my Jimmy Page shirt? I tried to get the most Jimmy Page shirt that I own to wear during this segment. Anyways, see you later.